Relationships can make us very, very happy.
All those love feelings, all the hormones, just having another person to chat to, having a person to like witness your life.
That happiness can also cloud our judgment.
It will definitely depend if you are blinded by love.
When you're wearing rose-coloured glasses, all the red flags just look like flags.
And sometimes relationships can be really, really hard.
Sorry, I just think it's funny because this is relevant to me at the moment. I've been around toxic relationships in my life a lot.
A leopard never changes its spots.
So between the love hormones, the love stories, and the red flags, how do we learn to have healthy relationships? Almost 70% of young people aged 14 to 18 have been in at least one romantic relationship. And they all exist somewhere on here, the relationship spectrum, which is often used to highlight behaviour that ranges from healthy to unhealthy to abusive. By the time teens reach the age of 18 or 19, almost 3 in 10 have experienced intimate partner violence. So experts say being able to identify unhealthy behaviour early on and address it is very important. But to understand our behaviour or that of our partners, we need to understand how we form ideas about relationships.
We get a lot of our ideas about relationships from outside sources.
This is Hannah. They're a researcher at Curtin University and they hold workshops with students and teachers to help improve relationships and sex education in schools.
The first time we get our relationships information is actually from our family.
I'd get it from my parents, so just seeing them every day, seeing them communicate, collaborate, that sort of thing.
And then as we get a bit older, we might be seeing some stuff on TV.
A lot more movies and shows and just giving us a predetermined idea of what a relationship should be.
I literally just read The Fault in Our Stars and I'm currently walking around Mundell looking for my Augustus Waters.
And then as we get older still, stuff on social media, YouTube, influencers.
It depends where you sit in your algorithms and what sort of stuff you watch. Me personally, I do get a lot of relationship advice.
A lot of people do get their advice from social media.
It's not realistic, it's superficial really.
And this is where it starts to get a bit tricky.
Gaslighting is one of the worst forms of manipulation.
Social media has educated and empowered a lot of people.
What are some realistic expectations in any relationship?
But the amount of content out there, especially about relationships, can make it hard to work out what information is helpful and what isn't.
Look, problems in relationships are not...
It's just really important when you're out there on social media not to take what everyone says at face value and just to make sure that we're really critically evaluating the language that's being used and also trying to really reflect on what our own feelings are.
On social media, we see lots of words like gaslighting, trauma, harm, or emotional manipulation. Hannah says while this language really helps identify unhealthy or abusive relationships, these concepts, which come out of psychology, aren't always well understood.
I think there's something that's coming out of social media is really these black and white, this is toxic, this is healthy, this is unhealthy. And I think it's really important to remember that people are complex. There are lots of people who will do unhealthy behaviours in a relationship because that's what they've seen. While it's not people's fault that they're doing that necessarily, it is their responsibility to change it.
Maybe trying to be too controlling in a relationship, trying to sort of mitigate and micromanage the other person. I think that's really sort of toxic in a relationship.
Just being a lot defensive, not being open to anything, just not communicating enough.
I think disrespecting boundaries and stuff. I think it's important to have boundaries in relationships.
They're feeling controlled, they're feeling like they can't hang out with their friends or do the activities that they used to do.
Attempts to control a partner, defensiveness or dishonesty, breaks in communication and a lack of respect for boundaries are all instances of unhealthy behaviour.
These kinds of things are really the behaviours that you can call out and say, hey, I really want to spend time with my friends. When I go away with my family, I want time off my phone so I can hang out with them, but I'll check in with you at these times during the day.
As well as this, Hannah says it's important we reflect on our own behaviour.
If you've kind of identified something within yourself, just take ownership of that and be like, hey, look, I reacted really badly. I was actually super upset. and I just should have taken a minute, taken some time out, and then come back to you when I actually could talk to you properly. There are definitely examples where you would try that, and then if you can't come to an agreement or you can't see things from the other person's perspective, it probably is best to just part ways at that point.
But what makes all of this particularly difficult is it's hard to get perspective when we're in romantic relationships.
I think if a person could be in denial, it can be hard for them to realise if they're actually in a bad relationship or not.
You know, you got the rose-coloured glasses on, you got the biased point of view, you want to think the best of them.
Your friendships are really your lifeline when you have a romantic relationship as well, and they're the ones who are looking out for you to tell you like, hey, like, that person doesn't seem like their intentions are very good.
And that support doesn't stop with our friends.
Talk to a trusted adult, so maybe it could be a teacher, a counsellor, a parent if you feel comfortable, or an older sibling.
And if it does get to that stage where you need to contact support lines for help, then go for it.
So, after all of this, what does a healthy relationship actually look like?
Communication is key within all your relationships. Sometimes we don't quite know what we're trying to say, so having the space to kind of like say, hey, like, I'm going to say something, it's probably going to come out wrong. I need you to know that I mean this with like the best intentions, and having that space to kind of get things wrong and not be perfect all the time.
I think a healthy relationship looks like having trust. I think being able to be comfortable and open with the other person and being able to sort of really expose your vulnerabilities.
50-50 like input from both people.
I think individual growth is still really important to maintain while you're in a relationship with someone.
Simple things like listening into conversations and just taking in what like other people's interests are.
A healthy relationship looks like good communication, knowing each other's boundaries and giving each other tips on how to improve each other's.